Hello everyone, my name is Lily, and this is the story of a love that tore friendships apart, changed us forever, and taught us what love really means. It's not just my story. It's also about Eli, Milly, and Sophie, 4 girls, 1 boy, and a truth none of us saw coming. It all started junior year. The year everything felt brighter, louder, and full of possibilities. That was the year Aiden Carter transferred to our school. He wasn't the typical perfect guy you see in movies. He was quiet, had messy hair that looked like he didn't even try, and eyes that always looked like they were hiding something. But when he smiled, it was like the world paused for a second. I met him in English class. He sat right behind me, and the first thing he said to me was, "Do you know the difference between love and obsession?" I laughed, thinking he was joking, but he wasn't. He said, "One breaks you, the other makes you feel alive." That was the first time I realized. This boy wasn't ordinary. It was always the 4 of us. Me, Lily, Eli, and Milly. We'd been best friends since middle school, inseparable, always together. Sleepovers, school dances, heartbreaks. We survived them all, until Aiden came. At first, it was innocent. Eli would talk about how cute he was. Milly would giggle whenever he passed by. And I pretended not to care, but deep down I did. We were all drawn to him, like moths to a flame. He had this strange way of making everyone feel special, like you were the only one who mattered when he looked at you. He'd say your name like it had meaning, and that was enough to make anyone fall. It was the night of Eli's birthday. We were sitting in her backyard, fairy lights above us, music playing softly, a bowl of chips on the table. Someone, I think it was Milly, suggested we play a game, Truth or Dare. When it was my turn, Eli smirked and said, "Truth, Lily." "Who do you like?" I froze. Milly laughed. "We all know it's Aiden." Everyone went silent. Even I didn't know what to say. Then Eli said something I'll never forget. "Well, good luck, because I like him too." We all turned to her, and then Milly quietly whispered, "So do I." And just like that, 3 best friends realized they were in love with the same boy. We laughed it off that night, pretending it was funny. But deep down, something broke, something that could never be fixed again. After that night, everything changed. We still hung out, but there were walls between us, invisible, sharp, and cold. Eli started dressing differently, trying to catch Aiden's attention. Milly joined the photography club because Aiden was in it. And me? I stayed quiet, pretending I didn't care. But I did. Every time he smiled at Eli, it burned. Every time Milly sat next to him, it hurt. One day, after school, I stayed behind to finish an essay. Aiden walked over and sat beside me. He smiled and said, "You write beautifully. I read your essay. It felt real." That was the first time I felt like maybe, just maybe, he saw me. But the next day, he was walking with Sophie. Sophie wasn't from our group. She was new, quiet, and always had her headphones on. She was the kind of girl who didn't care about popularity or attention. But Aiden noticed her anyway. And soon, we all noticed him noticing her. He'd wait for her after class. He'd carry her books. He'd laugh with her, that real soft laugh he never gave anyone else. It was like watching the person you love give your heart to someone else. And no matter how much it hurt, you couldn't hate them for it. Eli was furious. Milly cried. And I just watched, because Sophie didn't even know what was happening around her. She was just being herself, and maybe that's why Aiden fell for her. A week later, the three of us, me, Eli, and Milly, stopped talking completely. It was like the friendship that once held us together had disappeared overnight. Eli started spreading rumors about Sophie, calling her fake. Milly stopped hanging out at lunch, and I avoided everyone until one afternoon I saw Sophie sitting alone in the library, crying. I sat beside her and asked, "Are you okay?" She looked at me, eyes red, voice trembling, and said, "I didn't do anything. I didn't mean to come between you all." That's when I realized she knew. She knew everything. The rumors, the jealousy, the hate, but she didn't fight back. She just cried quietly, like she didn't deserve any of it. That day, something changed in me. I stopped seeing her as competition. I started seeing her as human. A few days later, Aiden found me by the bleachers. He said, "I know you all hate Sophie, but she's the only one who sees me for who I am." He looked tired, like he'd been carrying too much for too long. Then he said something that shattered me. "I like Sophie. I've liked her for a while now." And that was it. No drama, no tears. Just the truth. Simple, painful, honest trust. I nodded, pretending I was fine. But that night, I cried until I fell asleep. Months passed. Sophie and Aiden started dating, quietly, without showing off. Eli stopped talking to both of them. Milly moved to another city after graduation, and I wrote letters. Letters I never sent. To Eli, to Milly, to Sophie, and to Aiden. To Eli, I wrote, "You were my sister before love made us enemies. I miss laughing with you." To Milly, I wrote, "I wish we could go back to the night before Aiden came, when friendship meant more than feelings." To Sophie, I wrote, "I don't hate you. I just envy how effortlessly you're loved." And to Aiden, I wrote, "You'll never know how many hearts you broke just by being kind." It's been 4 years since high school. We all went our separate ways. Eli became a makeup artist in New York. Milly is studying photography in California. Aiden and Sophie, they're still together. And me, I write stories about love, loss, and everything in between. Sometimes, I still think about that boy who made 3 girls fall in love without even trying. And I think about the girl who never meant to steal him. But mostly, I think about how love isn't a competition. It's a lesson. It teaches you who you are, what you deserve, and what you should let go of. Last summer, our school hosted a reunion. I almost didn't go, but something inside me wanted closure. When I walked in, I saw Sophie first. She smiled and hugged me. Aiden was with her. Still that same quiet smile, still those same eyes. Eli was there too, wearing red lipstick and confidence. Milly had her camera around her neck. For a moment, time stood still. 4 girls, 1 boy. The past right in front of us. Eli laughed and said, "Remember when we all loved the same guy? We all laughed, even Sophie. And in that laughter, all the pain faded. It didn't matter anymore who loved who, because we had all moved on. Love had broken us once, but time had healed what love couldn't. Now when people ask me what love is, I say this: love is not about winning someone's heart. It's about understanding why some hearts were never meant for you. Aiden was never meant for me, or Eli, or Milly. He was meant for Sophie, because she saw the real him, not the version we imagined. And that's okay, because sometimes the love that hurts you the most is the one that teaches you the most. Before I left that night, Sophie handed me a small folded paper. It was one of my old letters, the one I never sent. She smiled and said, "Aiden found it years ago. He kept it. I think it's yours." I opened it. It was the one I'd written to him, the one that said, "You'll never know how many hearts you broke just by being kind." And beneath my words, Aiden had written something. "I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone. But I'm glad you all taught me what real love looks like." I smiled through tears, because in the end, love didn't give us happy endings. It gave us closure, and sometimes that's all we need. So if you're listening to this on Story with Allicia, remember this: not every love story is about getting the person. Some stories are about losing them and still finding yourself. We were 4 girls who loved the same boy, but in the end, we found something greater ourselves.